we're going to look at a variety of skills for recovering back to guard or neutralizing a pass, not even letting it complete. And I think of guard retention and keeping the guard as really just a complex of skills, like micro skills. It's not as many steps or as detailed as a technique where I'm going for a submission. So it's a lot of like small tools that I'm using to respond to specific things that are coming up. But let's start off with a couple of late stage recovery things. So we're going to look at a crossbody pin, and we're going to use a version of spider guard to get our way out of this pin. So if Coach Dan is ever so effectively smashing me, I'm going to fight to get this elbow inside his. And so that's the beginning of my escape. And then I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing my elbow escape, that same frame, but I'm doing it on this side underneath his bicep here. Now if somebody's familiar with this, they're going to try and get this arm away right now. I'm going to block it with this foot. And then I catch the wrist here. So now I'm using that spider guard leverage to start bringing his weight down. I still need to get him out, so I'm going to hook under and I bring him up. And I can keep walking across to get all the way to a frame on this side, and now I've neutralized his control and he's on the other side of my guard again. One more time. We're here, everything's gone wrong, he's got full control of me. So he's not just going to give me this, I have to use my hip to help make that happen. And then here, block this path if you need to get this wrist, if you're fighting for that wrist. But then once you have that, there's the beginning leverage, bring them down, hook inside, stretch them up, and walk across to your open guard. One other late stage, if he passes my guard, I'll often use the bottom leg to reach underneath and snag one of his feet. As he's passing my control, and this is specifically if he can drive me away from him. So as he drives me away, I'm going to snag underneath with this leg, and I'm driving this one back through. If I fight here, just sort of principally about the guard and defending, if I'm just fighting here and my legs aren't working, I've probably lost. He is going to collapse his frame most likely and get to control of him. So yes, I'll use this, but it's this foot. I'm hooking underneath his here. So that as he moves, as he completes his pass, this starts to elevate and give me a chance to bring this one back in. And now again, I've got him on the other side of my legs. If he does like a Toriando and turns my legs away, I'll reach through with that bottom leg to hook here. So he's got control of this. I can't really contest that. If he collapses me down, even if I have my knees pinned together, I definitely can't fight here, but I can shoot this one through and hook. And that's really all I need to be able to start recovering my guard. Because if he tries to continue his way up from here, that again gives me the leverage. And when he moves his weight, this one's free again, and I can bring it back into play. So knee smash or Toriando pass, I'm going to come up, I lift my hips so I can get movement and shoot this one through to hook his leg. And so now as he tries to complete that pass, that gives me a leverage point. I'm pulling there as I bring this knee back through, and now we're back in butterfly guard. So it's like a simple guideline, and please add to this, but if my guard is being passed, I could break it down into delay, move, recover as steps, right? So as he's passing me, if I don't slow him down in some way, then he's going to get good control of me. So I've got this frame here on his shoulder, but this is just buying me a little time. Your frames can always be collapsed. But if he's here and I just try to struggle and get back to guard, that also doesn't work because he's gotten control of me. So that's what, so I frame and I move. I gotta create some space or change the angle in some way. And now that I've moved, now I can recover and I'm back to that butterfly guard. And that would largely play out in just about everything other than a full pin, right? So if he does a stack pass, all right, this sucks, so here's framing. This buys me a little bit of time, move, recover. And I can use that principle really for most situations when my guard is being passed. And if you're finding like somebody's passing you in a consistent way, then you can break that down, maybe even film it so that you can look at it and see what piece is missing. Because it'll usually come down to one of those things, like I either didn't move out of underneath the pressure, or I didn't have an effective check. And those are all, once we identify that, it becomes a pretty simple problem to solve.